Everybody, Adam here, gonna do a response to a great YouTuber, pocketmego. Great guy, has a question that he asked in an open tag, and I thought I'd answer it. He wanted to know what lit the fuse under you to start retro collecting again. As far as video games are concerned, what happened was my passion for them never really died out. Um, when I was a kid, I bought a 2600 and then an NES. Um, I kept all. I did sell my Atari off in a garage sale. Big mistake. But I was probably only 14 or 15 at the time, and I wanted money to buy Nintendo stuff. But over the years, I even sold some of my Nintendo games at a garage sale when I was a kid to buy other games. Um, but all in all, from about the time I graduated high school when I was 18, uh, all the Nintendo stuff I had at that point, I still have. I just kind of put it away and boxed it up and didn't really, you hear the old adage about, your mom put it up in the attic. Well, I carried mine around with me wherever I was moving to, but I had it in boxes and it just, kind of went with me wherever I went. Now, when I was 18, I kind of got my first full-time job, and I had my first paycheck. I went out and I was like, I'm going to buy a video game console straight out. I'm not going to have to save money for it. I'm not going to have to scrimp buy. I'm going to buy the best thing and I really wanted a Sega Genesis, and the Model 2 had just been released that year, and I bought a Model 2 Genesis, and it came with Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I kept the box for it and everything. I loved it, and sadly that box got pitched a few years back. I threw it away before I got back into the collecting again of the video games, and then I collected that for a while, and then after I had probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 Genesis games, and I love my Genesis, I decided I wanted a Nintendo. I had the money. It was $100 to buy the machine. It came with a Link to the Past, and I was like, I want one, so I bought one. And then I had one of each. I had Sega and I had Nintendo. I didn't buy as many Nintendo games. I was more of a Sega dude. Nintendo burned me so bad with the damn 8-bit system, how it didn't want to work most of the time. It just made me so pissed off. I didn't care that Nintendo changed the style. I kind of had a hate for them for a while. I just was anti-Nintendo. And so I probably bought 2-to-1 Genesis to Super Nintendo games. But the franchise titles and the Final Fantasy games for the Super Nintendo you can't beat. So both of them, I kept both those systems. And then from then on, once we reached that point, I had no love for either system at that point because I had one of each. And I moved on to the PlayStation because I played Resident Evil at my cousin's house, and awesome game. Bought my PlayStation, stuck with that console, collected for that console, and then when it came time for the next gen after that, I bought a PlayStation 2. Never had any inkling to buy a Dreamcast or a Nintendo 64. Not at all. And so I collected for the PS2, and I collected a good-sized collection for the PS2, and that's pretty much where I was about, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. And I don't know. I started going to some what happened was I went to a thrift store around Christmas time, and I found a Nintendo 64 for $5, and it didn't have a controller, but it had the hookups, and I was like, I had bought a controller to use with an adapter on my PC, so I had a controller. So I was like, wow, cool, pretty cool. And I picked it up for $5, and I was like, man, that's a really good deal for a Nintendo 64. I mean, I had beaten Ocarina of Time and stuff. My roommate, when I was in my 20s, had a Nintendo 64, and we played Gauntlet Legends, and I really dug it, but I had no desire to buy one. And then, I don't know, from there, Uh, I don't know. I just started shopping the thrift stores. I started um, I went to Game Exchange and stuff. That was what was around here at the time, and would buy some games here and there. But I didn't really go to like GameStop or anything like that. Game Exchange, I would go there sometimes, but I didn't. I usually bought PlayStation 2 games. I didn't buy any retro stuff. But when I bought that Nintendo 64 at the thrift store, and then about 2 weeks, I don't know, maybe a month later, I was at the pawn shop, and they had a Dreamcast, all the hookups, 2 controllers, 2 VMU units, the whole thing for like $25, and I picked it up. And I'd say those two things, finding those two things for such good deals, I thought kind of sparked me back into wanting to collect. And then once I got the gumption to start putting videos on YouTube, I love to collect, and I love showing off the things that I think are cool, and love hearing if other people think they're cool. So, that's why I do so many pickup videos. I know not everybody digs pickup videos, but it's because I love the collecting and the collection, and I love seeing what other people pick up too. So my site reflects what I like, I suppose. So that's my answer. I'm going to try to throw a little bit of my comic book collection on here, and that's pretty much it. Everybody go check out pocketmego. He could always use some more people over his way. And if you dig what you see, sub him, because he's a cool dude. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks for coming by, and that's my open response. So, folks, as you can see, collecting is more my passion than what I'm collecting. This is my comic book and card collection. I showed some of these cards before. I have a whole nother book. Marvel Series 3 cards, and the holograms, the chase cards and stuff. I also have a shit ton of comic books. These are all comic books in here. Various ones. I have a lot of X-Men, a lot of the comic book called The New Warriors, these guys. I also have Spider-Man, some Spawn, and some other books. Some Batman. I wasn't a huge Batman collector, but I do have some Batman. Mainly X-Men and Spider-Man and Wolverine and the New Warriors and stuff. But this is my comic book collection. So you can see this was my passion probably when I was in my late teens into my early 20s.